The modern man today has an obsession in his pursuit for this ideal that people call hurriyah, or freedom, liberty. In every aspect of society, in recent times at least, there has been revolutions, upheavals, uprisals that have affected every aspect of society, starting with governments and civic life, permeating to arts, culture, literature. You've heard of the Enlightenment movement. You've heard of rationalist ideas. You've studied it in school. You've heard of modern philosophical thought. All of this is in pursuit of what? Is in pursuit of this ideal that people call freedom. To be at liberty. To not be constrained or limited by any aspect of life. To be free. But we find ourselves asking the questions, particularly as Muslims, to what extent has the modern man achieved this goal, this ideal of being hur, of being free? Is he truly a free man today in the 21st century? When you had Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the Genevan philosopher whose ideas in political science and philosophy affected the West a lot in their ideas, when he was lighting the torches of freedom, his ideas and his theorizing was affecting every aspect of Western society. During the same time, the same societies were ravaging other communities across the globe in the name of freedom. At a time when here in the West we were talking about freedom, other societies were being turned upside down. Africans were being hunted in certain parts of the world by the very same communities who were talking at home about freedom and equality. During that time, they were being hunted. Colonies built in their ruins. And those who remained alive amongst them were brought back in cages to serve the colonizer in North America and other parts of the West. And amazingly, all of this was happening in the name of what? It was happening in the name of freedom. With this backdrop and this short introduction, I shift your attention to a story that I think most of you have come across at one point or another.
When Amr ibn al-As, the companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, was governor of Egypt, his son, the son of the authority, took part in a horse race against another Qibti, meaning a Coptic boy of Egypt. The son of the governor won the race. So he was upset, so he picked up a whip and he hit the boy, relying on his father's authority, knowing that the kid would not be able to hit back. So the young Coptic boy complained to his dad, and his dad was aggrieved, and he traveled where? To the city of Medina in search of who? Amirul Mu'mineen Umar radiyallahu anhu, the Caliph of the Muslims, in search for justice. Umar was devastated when he heard this news, that a Muslim had assaulted a Coptic because he was relying on his dad's power. So Umar ibn al-Khattab wrote a letter to Amr ibn al-As saying to him, as per what follows, the moment you read this letter, you come to me, you and your son, to the city of Medina. Amr ibn al-As packs his bag, he arrives in Medina. And when all of them were now in front of Amirul Mu'mineen Umar, Amr ibn al-As, his son, the Coptic boy, and his father, Umar hands over a whip to the Coptic boy, and he says to him, if you wish, you can hit the child or the kid that hit you. And so he cashed that check. And he took the whip and he began to hit the boy, until he felt as if retribution had been delivered. He felt good. Then Umar ibn al-Khattab said to the boy, لو ضربت عمرو بن العاص لما منعتك أن الغلام إنما ضربك استنادا على ملك أبيه. Subhanallah. Umar said to him, young man, if you wanted to hit his father, If you wanted to whip his dad, Amr ibn al-As, the companion of the Prophet ﷺ, I wouldn't have stopped you, because his son only hit you relying on his authority. And then Umar, he turns to the governor of Egypt, Amr ibn al-As, and he said to him those phenomenal words that you have come across. He said to him, مَتَى اسْتَعْبَدْتُمُ النَّاسِ وَقَدْ وَلَدَتْهُمْ أُمَّهَاتُهُمْ أَحْرَارًا. Since when have you taken people as slaves when their mothers bore them as free?
La ilaha illallah. A famous statement that we've all come across. When have you taken people? Since when have you decided to take people as slaves when their mothers bore them free?